Hey, hello there folks, me RJ from RJBTV, and this is going to be game number 2 between Burgersasu and Light. Might even throw more than one game into the video, but let's look at who we are watching today, okay? First, we have Burgersasu on the Terran. He played Zerg last game, and it didn't go too well for him. He ended up losing the game, so Light has win number 1. And let me just put the score at the top before I forget that. Light 1. Burger has 0. Let me just do it correctly. Yep, so we got the score at the top. Wait, no, I did not do that correctly. Score at the top. Okay, Burger 0, Light 1. Light is back on the Protoss, and he is a Terran player on the professional maps, professional community. He's a professional Terran player, but he has actually played a lot of Protoss because he had in 2018 the Brilliant Plan. Might have been 2019 actually. It was 2019 actually, so in early 2019, Light came up with a plan. He is going to qualify for a professional tournament playing as Protoss instead of Terran. And for the first few months that he played Protoss, leading up to the tournament, he looked pretty good. He looked really strong. He was like, yeah, this might work. He might become one of the new Protoss Gosus within the professional sphere. But then he got cock-blocked by a player called 4GG in the qualifier rounds for the KSL tournament. And he ended up not qualifying, and he just switched back to Terran. And surprisingly, the next tournament right after, he won and became a world champion. So maybe it was his experience as Protoss for that one single season of play that got him to the next level of skill on Terran. And ever since then, he's been either the best Terran in the world or the second best Terran in the world. Never the third best. He's always been number 1 or number 2 ever since that one single season he played Protoss. So for all Terran players out there, there might be some secrets lying in store for you if you decide to play Protoss and then go back to Terran. It might just be what you need to reach the next level. So here goes for... I was kind of wondering whether Light knows all the standard Protoss build orders for fastest map, and this looks very standard. Double Gateway, double Zealot into a Nexus, Pawn in the front. I think he has learned a thing or two leading up to this game, right here, about how to play Protoss against Terran on fastest map. The last game, his base looked like a mess. All the motions and actions he was going through were all the correct ones, and let's see if his Zealot Micro is going to be what gets him a small little lead over our very happy Burger here, who's already behind. He went for Barrack, 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 Depot, well, Barrack, Depot, Barrack, Barrack into a... Actually, he went for Barrack, Depot, Barrack, Barrack. Let me put it like that. Barrack, Depot, Barrack, Barrack. Then got 2 more depots, a bunker, and a gas right there in the back. Zealots are waiting on the top side there. SUV there from Burger gets in there, survives in one hit. He's going to try to kill it with a probe somewhere around the map. Sees everything he wants to see, sees the timing on the double gas, that's all normal, sees the cyber core as well. And 2 very early cannons in the front. So the 2 cannons Light made in the front are usually made after the cyber core, because usually with this double gateway into Nexus build order, you go into a cyber core and then a forge. Instead of a forge, into a cyber core. Because now Light is going to be on a little bit too much gas, a little bit too early, and everything might be a little bit disjointed in terms of timings. This Robo will be slowed down a little bit. We've got a couple of SV kills there by distracting with Zealots on the bottom, pulled Marines to the bottom, and then attacked from the top side. So he's going to try to do it again. And a couple of Zealots hiding there that he sent in while these Marines were in the back fighting Zealots on the bottom side. He's going to try to, of course, maybe attack a couple of SCVs again and force Burgersasu to pay attention to prevent him from losing some SCVs. So gets 1 kill, he's targeting the SCVs, gets number 2, he's going to get number 3. Number 3 is going to be in the books as well. No number 4, but 3 is definitely enough. That's definitely worth it for Light. Burgersasu is already 12 workers behind on his opponent, and do keep in mind, of course, Burgersasu got his second command center much later than Light got his second Nexus, so it is reasonable to expect him to be behind, but he should actually already be on like 22 to 23 SCVs instead of 18. So he is pretty far behind, because if you look at it from a percentage-based perspective, yeah, that would be like, he would be down like 20% from where he has to be, which is pretty bad in my opinion. It puts, it tries, no, don't try to break through here, not gonna work. More fire bats coming in. He's running the fire bats into the base. One of them stays in and gets in alive. How is Light gonna block this one fire bat from killing any of his probes? So they're blocking this pathway. Path on top there is not getting blocked. He's trying to walk his way around. Okay, gets the fire bat pretty nicely. Pretty nicely. Burgersasu made a little mistake by misclicking on one of the probes, so the fire bat attacked before moving forward. Maybe he could have gotten off a shot or two on the probes, and that might actually have killed them, because with a stim, fire bats do a lot of damage, but not today, and not this time. Burgersasu has to play defense now. Lost a lot of his marines on the frontal attack, and achieved absolutely nothing except a double cannon kill. In exchange for like 10 marines, a couple medics, and some fire bats. Definitely not worth it. His army is now much smaller than it would have been had he not attacked. And losing that much army value might actually just give Light the win straight up. Light has 2 Reavers are on the way, almost finished up. So he got shuttle speed there in research. No Zealot speed being researched. He might get it right now. Nope, does not. Get level 1 attack first. And the Reavers are now on the way, building the Scarabs. The Zealots are touching and feeling to see what's on the middle of the map. Burgersasu is trying to snipe the shuttle before it gets into his base. That's why the Marines are so far out, because a lot of players use their shuttle to attack from the front, combined with some Zealots. But Light saw the Marines in the middle, decided to pull back the Zealots, and they just go for a real, actual drop. And Burgersasu makes a massive mistake here by not protecting the top side of his base with any vision whatsoever. So SCVs are dying, gets a couple of kills, gonna go for the bunker, gonna pick up the Reavers and maybe fly out. Shuttle speed is not yet finished up. It's gonna fly to the bottom. Really smart choice to fly to the bottom, because there's almost no Marines on the bottom side. Light recognized that very quickly, shoots a Scarab. Scarab goes in between. Scarab is on a chase. Scarab is not gonna explode there though, SCVs stay alive, but a Reaver and a Shuttle both stay alive. So even though he got surrounded there, he still finds a way out. And Burgersasu is in even more trouble than before. He should have had vision right here, or maybe somewhere right about here. Like, these 2 Marines were too far up. You hear them here and there. This entire section right here was completely in the darkness. Even though that is the shortest path from Light's base to Burger's base. So a very bad job by Burgersasu in covering his vision paths for those shuttles. Like, just absolutely, again. This time around, though, Light shows himself, perhaps on purpose, perhaps by accident, but he shows himself. We got a Dark Temple there getting into the base. You have a scanner in the back. Gonna go for the... He's not attacking yet. He's not attacking yet. He's actually walking all the way through, not revealing the fact that he has Dark Temples in the base. I think Burgersasu has seen the fact that there's a Dark Temple. He now knows. Unsieges the tanks, very smart choice. Then stims, then attacks the Dark Templar. Why did he scan? Because why did he unsiege before scanning? Oh wait, let me just focus on this fight real quick. 4 Reavers on the scene, getting micro like experts. Wait, exactly what you expect. 2 of the Reavers survived, 2 of them went down. Didn't kill as much as he would have liked to, but killing anything at this point is a great win for Light. Killing anything at this point works in Light's favor, because Burgersasu's economy is small, Light's economy is massive. Light can afford to go for inefficient trades, because he just gets so much more money to the bank than Burgersasu. So the reason he unsieged is that when he scans the Dark Templar and it's standing right against the SCVs, the tanks will kill all the SCVs with splash damage. So first unsiege, and then scan, and then kill the Dark Templar. Super important little thing that I see a lot of players forget to do. A lot of players kill their own SCVs with their own tanks. It's something I very often try to abuse when playing against Terrans in 2v2, 3v3, or 1v1. Super useful trick. So level 1 attack is finished up, level 2 attack is on the way, and so is Zealot speed. This is a much slower Zealot speed than we usually see on a fastest map, but he hasn't really needed to use Zealots anyway. So getting the Zealot speed that laid on, very smart optimization. Goes in, tries to snipe the shuttles. Reavers are loading, Templars are loading on the scene. Reavers are very close to the SCVs, so we're running to safety. Reavers shoots on. He's just killing units at this point. Exact same story as before. He's killing anything
Doesn't have to be. Oh, storms the SFVs, pulls them to safety just on time, but like 7 of them did go down because the drop from the top came in at the same time as the one from the bottom. Cells are waiting on the bottom, ready to go in. There's nothing in the front there. Okay, there's 7 Marines in the bunkers, but those bunkers are not going to survive when this attack comes in over the front door. Flies in, going to unload behind. There's a Reaver inside, top one. Keeps it in the back, going to go for a drop while attacking the front. Marines are going to the front there. The back is completely unprotected. Light has absolutely destroyed Burgersasu in this game. He killed a bunch of SCVs at the start, then just kept killing Marines and tanks, kept hurting Burgersasu, kept forcing Burgersasu to pull the SCVs away from the minerals to make him bleed without even killing an SCV, and then in the end did kill another 8 SCVs with a storm while fighting with the big drop. This was... It was actually perfection from Light. Let me put it like that. There was no super fancy micro going on. He did micro here and there, but it wasn't super fancy. What Light managed to do here is have maximum efficiency with every single action, with every single plan. The execution was very clean. Everything was extremely well coordinated. Nothing attacked too early or too late. Everything attacked exactly when it had to. And I think that's one of Light's greatest strengths as a player on the normal maps in competition as well. This guy can make everything happen exactly as he wants it to, when he wants it to, with perfect execution. And I think that's what makes a professional player a professional player. The attention to detail in their play is just on a completely different level. And it's really nice to see that Light actually really understands fastest map really well, even though these games were played at the very start of his fastest map career. It wasn't a long career. He didn't play like hundreds of matches. He played maybe 100 matches on fastest map in total, but oh boy, does he understand. It is often said among the pro players that Light is maybe the player that everyone looks up to the most right after Sulky and Flash. And that is because Light understands the game better than anyone else except Flash and Sulky. Light's understanding of the game is sought after by the others. Other players approach Light to get coaching and lessons and insights and information on how do I improve as a player, or whether their ideas for a strategy, are they good ideas or bad ideas? Light will tell them and show them the way, guide them further ahead on their path towards greatness. Light is the go-to player. Light is the person to go to. That's a story I hear from every single professional player. So Burgersasu back on the Zerg, Light back on the Protoss. The score is 2 wins for Light, nothing for Burgersasu, and Burgersasu is going to have to get his act together because, as we've seen in both of the last 2 games, he has been making mistakes that might look small at first, but if exploited, they can lose a game pretty much immediately. These mistakes he's making, when Light notices them, Light can turn them into an instant loss. The loss doesn't maybe happen immediately, but it's like from that point onward, the game snowballs out of control because you're just too far behind economically to ever stand a chance of surviving beyond a certain point of time in the game. So as long as Light does everything he has to do, he will win those kinds of games. So Burgersasu cannot make a mistake. And we've seen him make mistakes. Goes for a hatchery at 9, and a pull at 9, and then a hatchery at 9. And then the Overlord finishes up and he gets 2 more drones. They should become a drone as well, actually. Oh, he switched it around. He went for a pull into a hatchery. Or did he not? Okay, hatchery pull. It's a hatchery pull, but he just switched some things around a little bit because he should actually be on 10 drones instead of 9 drones. So he goes now for 3 drones. Okay, so the thing here is that Light has not yet scouted Burgersasu. So Burgersasu feels that he can now go for more drones, less Zerglings. And of course, 1 single sunken. He kept the larva open, so didn't immediately use them, so that if a probe comes and walks to his front door, or if a zealot arrives, he can make 6 Zerglings in total. Instead, he made 2 of them, only 2, and a single sunken in the front. And that is because Light went for a Nexus and then a double gateway. Now, Burgersasu doesn't know that it was Nexus before double gateway, but because Light's zealots never arrived to attack, he extrapolated, deduced, that had to be the case. He deduced that had to be the case. So Burgersasu is standing in the front with his Light standing on the front, just keeping him there in the front to see what gets into his base, so they can maybe kill it, block it, whatever. And a cannon coming up at the back to protect his probes. There's some space between both nexuses to make sure that Zealots, Zerglings, do not get in between to kill or damage the nexus. Got a very early Robotics on the way, he's producing Zealots. So Zergling gets in there, sees the Robotics Cyber Core, yeah, gets a lot of valuable information, goes into the back to see how many gases there are, and sees double gas, not triple gas. With triple gas, we can assume that it would be a much more aggressive robo strategy, but with only double gas, it will be slightly less aggressive. You can kind of determine the path Light will take based on the amount of early gas he made. I personally think double gas is the best one, but triple gas would have meant a Corsair in addition to the shuttle robos. There's robo number 3. He's gonna. So after Burgersasu scouts him, Light adds a 3rd gas and a 3rd robo. 1 gas per robo. Actually, his support bit there coming in as well. Shield is on the way. He's no longer producing Zealots. Zealots are on the front, are just keeping watch to see what is coming out, and to make Burgersasu build a couple more Sunkets, of course, because if the Zealots are right there in the front, the threat always exists that they might attack. We need at least 4 Sunkets and a Zergling there in this little pathway to make sure that the Zealots cannot walk through, because this is a pathway. You cannot block this off with structures. You need something like a unit to stand right there or a little bit lower to block this pathway off, to prevent Zealots from walking through. Now Zealots are back on the menu. We've got Dragoon on the way to kill an Overlord. Or maybe he's going to kill the Zergling because it's running back and forth, getting information. We have the Reavers on the way. Shuttle's finished up there in the front. There's the shuttle. He's going to probably shuttle some of his Zealots into the base right here over this wall. Maybe a little bit higher right there. He might do it in vision or just outside of vision. There's a very small little patch of no vision right there. Gets attacked there. Oh, he gets some damage down on that. He tries to fly in where there's no overlords. Gets spotted though by Burgersasu. Burgersasu sees it happening. He's going to fly in over there. We have a Hylot is already finished up and ready to defend. So unlike the very first game where Burgersasu went for 7 hatcheries total, now he went for 5 in the back, 1 in the front. Other game he had 6 in the back, 1 in the front. And at 6 in the back really just costs you a lot. Got his Hylas Den much earlier, and because he had the Hylas Den much earlier, he can now defend himself against the Zealots. A little bit of micro going on, going for Hylas speed first. You might be wondering, why not range before speed? Well, you see, the shuttle will have speed, and if the shuttle has speed, and you don't have speed on your Hydralisks, then the shuttle can easily dance around your Hydralisk. So you gotta get Hydralisk speed and then Hydralisk range to catch the shuttle. Because if you don't have speed, that shuttle will never ever die. It will just fly right around everything and kill your drones. So yeah, you gotta do that. So after getting like 2 groups of Hylas, he mixes in a couple more drones, gets on 2 more hatcheries, and he's still making Hydralisks. He's probably waiting for an Overlord to finish right there in the front. Gonna get 2 more drones. There's no Evo chambers yet, there's no lair yet. So back in 2019, Burgersasu really got a very slow lair. His lair is a little bit faster these days. Like, he would definitely have already started his lair at 6 minutes in. This is a very late lair. So we have more robots coming out there from Light. He hasn't done any damage yet so far, but he might do some damage with this big reverse shuttle drop. We're getting more Corsairs here from Light. He might try to do the exact same thing from game number 1, where he's going to go for a fleet beacon at some point in order to use Disruption Weapon. Couple cannons in the front. He didn't make any additional sunken in this section. He's spreading them out now because he knows Reavers are on the way. And Reavers are great against sunkens that are very close together like this, and very bad against sunkens that are spaced out, because the scarabs only damage one single structure instead of 2 or maybe even 4. Goes over the bottom side, has vision on the high ground, repels the shuttles. He's got speed and range for the hydras, shuttle speed there for the shuttles. And now we have 5, 4, 9, and there's about 10 hatcheries in total in the entire base. Lair is on the way, so triple gas. He's making level 1 attack on level 1 carapace, whereas Light has only a single forge, getting attack and shield. There's no second Robo Cyber Core there yet for armor for his air units. I would have liked to see him go for air armor first, because he's really focusing on shuttle Corsair play, and shuttle armor for shuttles is better, of course, than attack, because you want the shuttles to stay alive for as long as they possibly can in order to land your units at a probably very good spot in the Zerg base. Getting attack level 1 doesn't help you drop. It helps you do damage with courses like this, which is not really as valuable as keeping the shuttles alive for as long as possible. So getting level 1 attack is worse than getting level 1 armor in fastest map. On normal maps, though, you would get that level 1 attack first, definitely. Every single game, level 1 attack for air. Every single time. Every single time. So we get Storm there on the top, Zealot Speed there on the top as well, some 5 Robo, Observatory there on the way as well. Lance in the front because he determines that I cannot really fly into Burgersasu space. He's got a lot of Hylisk all over the place, on the bottom, on the top, and the front. So instead, I'll just land here and try to bait Burgersasu out into attacking me without risking the shuttles, because now I'm going to pick up more Reavers back at home. He still has the shuttles alive, and he's breaking through the front door while building cannons on the middle. But that was a really good choice there from Light to not risk it for the biscuit and just land in the front, take down the front, and wait for reinforcements to arrive. That's what he's going to do. Zealot's on the scene as well. Zealot's going for the attack there on the something. He's going in. Burgersasu is going for a big surround with all his Hylisk coming from every single direction, but he has to pull back. The Zealots don't really do that much work. They largely just take damage and die. That was the purpose, to take damage and die. But the purpose was to have the Hylisk attack and have the Zealots keep the Hylisk at a range, while the Reavers shoot on the Hylisk as the Zealots tank the damage, and the Reavers stay alive without taking any damage. But Burgersasu recognized the situation and decided not to go in, not to risk it. But now the amount of Reavers is much bigger than before, but he's waiting for the Reavers to get into a wide open area. In this very narrow area, Reavers are super strong. The wider open the area is, the stronger the Hylisk become. So one wasted disruption web, he has how many Corsairs? Because 9, but he doesn't have energy for a disruption web on every single one of them. I think about half of them have energy for a disruption web, so that's 1 less disruption web out of the 9 that he could have had. Still waiting, Zealot's going forward, Zealot's dying, Zealot's take down a single sunken. Reavers are coming in. He's going to go for the attack right now. He might believe he has the chance. Disruptor's coming down there. Reavers are shooting on everything they can. Storm's coming down. Burgersasu retreats. Doesn't want this fight just yet. Doesn't want that fight just yet. Disruption webs are slowly ending. When the disruption webs end, he might go in again. But during this time, a couple cores have got more energy, so they can again use 3 more disruption webs to paralyze or whatever else it does on the Hylisks. Goes in yet again. Temple's coming. Oh, this is the surround. Gets a great surround there. Storm's coming in. Cores are not contributing. Zealot's in the back there, party pooping, but he gets around on all the Reavers and he kills everything there is, and Light's army gets taken down. He has to now pick up more units back at home, but he still has the shuttles to pick stuff up. So that went really well for both players, in my opinion, because now the entire front section there is gone for Burgersasu, because still there on the top is going to fly in and try to kill some of those drones, but gets sniped out of the sky. Templar escapes with his life. Still sees triple gas. So Light just got a Corsair in there and sees a lot of valuable information. So sees no Spire, sees only triple gas. We do have 53 drones for Burgersasu at the moment. He's building more Sunkas very quickly at the front. There's nothing there on the bottom. He's got protection on the top, and on 2 more hatcheries. He's got 5 and 6. He's got 11 hatcheries. Honestly, in a 1v1 game, 11 hatcheries is perfectly fine. You would of course like to have more of them, but you can win games on 11. You do not need more than 11. But you can always use more than 11. But you don't need. Big difference between needing and being able to. drop at the bottom there. Gonna have to push those overlords away, but that does give away the fact that the Hydralisks have to move down to intercept the one single shuttle there, being protected by Corsairs. Attacks the front. This time around, no Reavers in between. It's just pure Dragoon Zealot. Drop on the top there, waiting to go in as well, but there's a lot of Hydralisks there in between. Tries to push those away with a storm, but yeah, Burgersasu not biting. Burgersasu not failing. Burgersasu is not making mistakes. Burgersasu is on fire. Light is slightly struggling to get in there. And his base is starting to look like a mess. This is where his lack of experience is starting to show. His base is a mess. It's ugly. It's hideous. It's functional, but not nearly as functional as a highly optimized base. So 5 Robo, triple forge. Burgersasu comes in with a big attack. He needs his Reavers here back at home very quickly to protect the front door there. Zealots from Light there are going in for the attack there onto the middle to buy some time, but that might not be what he needs to do. Might not be what will save his hide. Drop there over the bottom side, tries to go in. He got some highlights there in between when to go in. Shuttles go in. Reavers are unloading. They're on the bottom corner. Reavers are not really... Oh, okay. That great disruption webs needs a couple more. Hydralisks are coming in large numbers to the bottom side, but the disruption webs are really shutting them down. Front door attack there from Hydralisks. From Burgersasu not really paying off that well. Some 46 drones. His drone count is very, very low. Reavers on the bottom side, they're still paying off greatly. Nothing can stop them. Pick some of them up. I think that, oh, if he kills the shuttle right now, if he protects the drones right now, he will be fine. Drones running to safety, drones staying alive. Beautiful pull. A lot of Hydralisks do go down. Reavers dying. Still has 2 more Reavers there waiting, crawling forward very slowly, forcing more Hydralisks to get killed. Killed a bunch of drones on the gas. 41 drones in total. He's making more Hydralisks now. He needs Hydralisks, but he also needs drones. Prioritizing right now is very difficult for Burgersasu, but the game is still looking very good for Burgersasu at the moment. He's got some Sunkens, and Light does not have the amount of production he needs. He's producing very quickly, because as a pro player, that's something you can just do. You can produce very quickly, but he might not have the number of gateways he needs. At 6, 11, 12. Of course, 5 Robos. Might go for a couple more because I see 2 more than the bottom. So it's going to be 7 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4 Stargates. Honestly, he can win the game on this amount of production. He can win the game because his planning, his execution, his micro is all where it has to be at a very high level. So he can get more out of the same amount of units than I could or you could. But Burgersasu is growing very big now. He's on 60 drones. He's going to be on 80 very soon. Getting more Sunkens. He's getting a lot more Hydralisks. He really hasn't used anything but Hydralisks up until now. We do see a double Scourge, 4 more there on the side. Hunting down the Corsairs. Corsairs are cleaning out the skies, taking away the Overlords, taking away the vision that Light has, that Burgersasu has, excuse me. He might need a couple more probes. He's on 61. Usually players go for 71 at least. As a Protoss against Zerg, 71 is the sweet spot. Maybe even a little more gas. You got 6 at the moment, might have to go for 7 or 8. Picking up a lot of the shuttles there. There's a lot of Reavers in there. Everything has a Reaver except these 2 there in the front. That's 12 Reavers. That's a lot of death coming in over the top side. Can Burgersasu hold this? Burgersasu has no vision. Of course, he's going to the top side there, try to push these units away and maybe use some disruption webs to unload on a very bad spot. But great disruption webs coming down. Gonna have to kill all those. Ooh, gets him supply blocked as well by killing some Overlords. Reavers are hurting Burgersasu big time. Slowly crawling forward. He's very close to the technology, by the way. Like, we have a Great Aspire on the way, but a Great Aspire is never going to finish, which means no air to protect Burgersasu. Not that he has the gas to even do that. Comes in there with the Hydralisk. Disrupt webs coming out on all the units. Crawls closer. Reavers dying, but the Hydralisks are dying in the same numbers as well. Zealots are not really contributing. They're in hold position. Reavers are winning the fight. It's a landslide fight. Comes in yet again. We got more Reavers back at home, ready to get picked up. Ready to get picked up. They're in production. 7 Reavers on the way. Finally starting to kill the last couple of Reavers, but 3 Reavers remain alive. And they're getting close. We're going to have to go after their Hydralisk den. And when he kills the Hydra den, it's going to be GG because he doesn't have another one. Doesn't have another one. His gas is also very low. The amount of pressure Light has put on Burgersasu so far this game. He kills drones all the way from over there. So, oh my god. I just want to show it again. Great storms, 4 high Templars, everything has been carved down to death. 4 drones left alive, no hiders left in the base, 38 supply. That was beautifully executed there by Light. Absolutely beautifully executed. Burgersasu is pretty much, it's over. That's all I can say, it's over. He's making 25 drones, all going towards the minerals, but it's over at this point. Light is just too far ahead. There's no way that Burgersasu is going to survive this and live to tell the tale. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, my friends. There's no way in hell, no way in hell that it's possible. It's just a matter of time, I suppose. He calls the GG because he sees the shuttles landing and arriving on the scene. And I just want to show something to you, okay? Let me just make a screenshot right here. Screenshot. That's going to be the thumbnail. I just want to show you something, okay? So, what really hurt Burgersasu the most, in my opinion, or what started to bring in the pain the most for Burgersasu was this one Hydralisk here. One of the Hydralisks here kills a bunch of drones. I just wanted to show that. Just wanted to show that. Because one of these Hydralisks spawning right here pulls a Scarab right into the drones. That one. That's the culprit. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. He kills his own drones by pulling a Scarab right into them. That was such a massive, accidental little mistake. Like, that's just an accident. You grab the Hydralisk, you pull them back, and then it just stops at your drones, and the Scarab explodes right on top of them, and you're like, oh shit, what did I do? That's what happened. Burgersasu hurts himself with his confusion and helps Light win the game. Although at this point, without the Hydralisk den, it's pretty much already over. Doesn't have the gas. No longer has the mineral income either, because 48 is not that great when you're defending against a massive army basically fisting you. So yeah, that didn't really work out too well. That was game number 2 and 3. We have 3 wins in total there for Light. He has been showing off very strong play against Burgersasu, which, you know, it's difficult to beat Burgersasu 3 times in a row. We've seen it happen before many times, but only by a select few of players. A select few players. And Light is one of them.